Hey guys, Leburn98 here, finally doing the entire collection overview. I actually did a quick look through. You can check it out on the game tour, the game room tour video. This is going to be more for those who want to see each individual release more in depth and stuff like that. Now, to be fair, I'm not going to go and talk about every single movie in my collection. That would take forever. But it's just kind of give you a look at just certain things in my collection. All right, so the first thing is my James Bond collection, and we start off with some unofficial James Bonds. If we would just stay up there, we have Casino Royale, Never Say Never Again, featuring Bond himself, Sean Connery. Everything or Nothing. This is actually a documentary. Uh, they first released this as part of a DVD, or released it as a DVD, I should say. They also released it in HD on iTunes. This is what this is. It's actually converted from iTunes, from my own copy I actually bought. And then they finally released it again as part of a box set, the newest James Bond box set. So you can actually get the physical disc on Blu-ray. Then we have finally the first Sean Connery, Dr. No, and finally From Russia with Love. Of these, I would say From Russia with Love is my favorite. Although I really like that documentary. If you are a Bond fan, you kind of want to know a bit of the turmoil and stuff that's going on behind the scenes for Bond. That's one thing you should check out for sure. We have Goldfinger, probably one of my favorite Bonds. My least favorite Bond, Thunderball. Uh, you Only Live Twice, and finally On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which was the only one by George Lazenby, which is too bad because he was actually pretty good as Bond, and it's one of the better Bond films. And then finally we have the return of Sean Connery, uh, Diamonds Are Forever. Apparently, and I think it even says so in the documentary, that they paid him quite a bit for him to come back. And you could tell he wasn't really into it at this particular time. Okay, so we already see two Bond actors, I should say. And we have another one here. This is Roger Moore, obviously. Live and Let Die. I actually like this one. I thought it was a different take on Bond, and it was before it became goofy. One of the things Roger Moore is really known for is for a lot of his Bonds end up becoming goof fests, for a lack of a better term. Man with the Golden Gun, The Spy Who Loved Me, Moonraker. Uh, Definitely my least favorite. It's between that and Thunderball for me. And For Your Eyes Only. A decent film, but definitely not one of the best ones for sure. We still have Roger Moore here in Octopussy, A View to a Kill. Should have been a lot better than it was. I mean, it has Christopher freaking Walken as the villain. If you would have told me that there's a Bond movie where Christopher Walken's the villain, I would have said that's probably the most amazing movie ever. Unfortunately, it wasn't all that great. And that was also Roger Moore's last film. You can tell he's really getting old in this one, and finally decided to hang them up. And passed on to Timothy Dalton in The Living Daylights. Really good, gritty before Craig came into the picture, and then License to Kill. Also another favorite of mine. Actually, both of these I like both of these quite a bit. And unfortunately, Timothy Dalton, those are the only two he made, because there was a bit of a hiatus after this one. He was supposed to do another one. A lot of people speculated that he was supposed to do this one, Goldeneye. One of my favorites, if not my favorites. Although, to be fair, I think a lot of it has to do with the uh, Goldeneye N64 game. A bit of a backstory. The game is what got me into Bond. Originally, I didn't know that Goldeneye was based on a movie. It wasn't until after I borrowed it from a friend and we played it for a long time. It was actually with Tyson who I played it with. I ended up seeing it on uh, around Christmas time actually on a local network, and they were playing that one. I was surprised at how like the video game it was, not realizing that it was actually the game was actually based on the movie. I really liked, and of course, as I became a Bond fan during this era, Pierce Brosnan's kind of my Bond. Uh, Now going forward, I'd probably say Daniel Craig and Sean Connery, or like it's a toss up between those two. So we have Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, and then Die Another Day. A lot of people do not like this one. To me, it's not the worst Bond movie, but it's not the greatest one either. It's probably more in the lower pack. And to be fair, like even the worst Bond movie, even like Moonraker, is still a entertaining film. That's the thing with Bond movies. Like we'll say like, oh, it's a bad movie. In terms of Bond, yes. Then we have, even though this is a DVD set, it's a Casino Royale. I do have the Blu-ray inside. I just like the snazzy packaging for this one, so that's why I kept it like that. Then we have Quantum of Solace. Not a great movie. Apparently, this was made during the writer's strike, and that pretty much shows a lot of the problems with that one. I also didn't like the shaky cam, especially during the earlier scenes of that one. One of my favorite Bonds, if not my favorite, Skyfall, and I want to get Spectre, which I actually seen uh, in theater. I've seen the last two. I've seen Quantum of Solace and Skyfall in theater. I kind of want to continue that if he makes more. Like kind of continue that streak. Now we're going to go on to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's funny because like when I first started doing these collections, I didn't have as many movies, and I was actually just I had Bond at the start, and then I kind of just left everything else alphabetical. But then I realized that the cinematic universe really needs to be together. And by the way, this one here, and actually this one here as well, are actually reproductions or custom slipcovers. And I'll show you real quick here. This one obviously looks like the original. It's not, however. This one here is not like the original at all. I just wanted something a little different. I can't remember the guy who did this for me. I will put that in the description also. But yeah, these are really well made. See if it. He did a really good job of these. And basically, what you do is you just send them the cover that you want for him to do, and he will actually print them off for you. And they're like professionally done. Like it seems like it's almost as good. I fooled people. Like that's how good they are. And then we have Iron Man 2, and then Captain America, which leads in. And by the way, I love Captain America. I like this one. A lot of people don't like this one, or don't. It's not one of their favorites. I personally like it because of the World War II setting. The Avengers. This is the. Unfortunately, it's the bilingual slipcover. It came with the set, which I believe, if you check my channel, you should see under the collector's editions. And then finally, we have Iron Man 3, Thor, also a bilingual slipcover. Captain America, The Winter Soldier, arguably one of the best, if not the best, Marvel Cinematic movie. If it weren't for this one, Guardians of the Galaxy. In my personal opinion, I'm a huge sci-fi fanatic. This is the best one. I know they won't, but I would love if they kept this out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and kept it as its own thing. But I'm pretty sure that they're going to intertwine it some way into the current cinematic universe. The Avengers Age of Ultron. I personally did not like this movie. It just, I don't know. It just disappointed me. I'm not saying it's a horrible movie. It disappointed me. Then we have Ant-Man. I never actually watched this one yet. I'll probably watch this one tonight. But really cool. This is the 3D edition, slipcover and all that cool awesomeness. All right. Then we still have. So that's it for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But this is not it for all of Marvel comic book movies. We have Daredevil. The director's cut is pretty good for the most part. Still not a great movie, however. Then we have Spider-Man. So we have Spider-Man 1. These are like the crappy Photoshopped covers, but they do have slipcovers. So Spider-Man 1, 2, 3. Then I also have the Amazing Spider-Man, which came in a collector's edition, which I believe I also have on the site, on my channel. And then the Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I have not watched yet. I heard bad things about it, but I wanted to get it to complete the collection, and it also came with a slipcover. I believe I got that for $10 during the Target sale. They had, in Canada, we had Target for about a whole year. They bailed, and because of that, we got some pretty good deals on the clearance stuff. So I couldn't really complain that way. Then we still have some more Marvel. We have X-Men. Great movie. Another great movie is X-Men 2. A horrible movie is X-Men The Last Stand. A really bad movie, but still a guilty pleasure for me, is X-Men Origins Wolverine. A great movie is The Wolverine. This is the unrated edition. I've never actually seen the unrated edition. I bought this. I own the original. It may be in another video, and I actually bought it again because I wanted to have that edition. And we'll kind of just throw these all here together. Then we have X-Men First Class, and then X-Men Days of Future Past. All of these are really good. Again, the only two that are really a problem in the X-Men, Fox X-Men movies, in my opinion, are The Last Stand and Wolverine. Both are still watchable, but they're not super great.